Broncos are in a good position to make another Super Bowl run as they are right now. I think they need to add a defensive tackle who can stop the run. And
They need
after
to pick
that,
up the offensive line.
they still have the.
Yeah,
They just signed another guard.
They have
I don't know
they
his
signed a
name.
Was he
guard.
from
They signed a
the
guard from the
Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Yeah.
The Cowboys have an unbelievable offensive line.
Yeah.
So it's good. The Broncos have the best secondary in football.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask someone who can stop the Broncos, that's where they hurt on defense last year. They'll return to having their best defense in the league. And then you'll still have Demaryius Thomas, Sanders. You'll get Anderson back. So I mean, they had a lot of stuff to look up to. The Broncos fans have a lot of stuff to be excited for.
It's just that the core positions just need filling in.
What
I
about
think
the
they might even need to
quarterback?
beef up the running game.
Running game?
I think they need to beef up the offensive line.
Who is the
Definitely.
Booker guy? Their
Devontae
Yeah,
Booker.
Devontae
The
Booker.
halfback.
He's halfback. He
Yeah,
took
he
over.
was
Took
the
over fullback
halfback.
when Andy Janovich got
Anderson.
hurt.
I like him.
You like Booker?
I like Booker.
He
We'll
was
see.
pretty
They'll
good.
definitely have some few options at halfback. I mean, Devontae Booker's not bad. C.J. Anderson's better than average, and if he gets a good offensive line, they can really do some special things this year. Going on that, a big Super Bowl favorite now, after signing a couple days ago of Brandon Marshall, are the New York Giants. Maybe the best wide receiver duo, maybe trio, of all time on a team.
Who's the third?
Odell Beckham, Brandon Marshall, and Sterling Shepard. So,
Sterling. Okay.
I mean, he's also very talented going into his sophomore year to your rookie season. So, I mean, it'll be really interesting. I mean, there's a lot of shaking up in the NFL right now to see where everyone lands and how the season will play out.
Yeah, the Giants have a big hole in their running game, and they might try and fill that with Adrian Peterson or Jamal Charles, who recently.
That's also another idea. Adrian Peterson's still
Jamal's
out there.
been hurt
He's
a lot,
really been
though.
considering the Giants. He really likes that idea. We'll see, because he's been very injury prone
Yeah.
in the latest few years. He's also getting older. I know the Giants really liked Paul Perkins last year, but they do need to find a running game. Eli Manning probably maybe has 1, 2, maybe 3 more seasons left where he's at his best before I see him going down the same road that Peyton did. But
I mean, that neck problem with Peyton set him on a different course, though. I
you
don't know.
just see Eli Manning sometimes. He's just not the same player he was
No.
a couple of years ago, and that's understandable with age.
Yep.
One last thing I want to talk about is, who are you guys looking for? Who do you guys want to see the Broncos or any other team pick up in the draft this year?
I'll tell you what's really exciting, and there's a little bit of a bias because he's a Colorado guy, Christian McCaffrey. And he's very exciting. And again, he's a Colorado guy. We had a bias because he beat us in a semifinal game in football a few years back. But he is very good and implemented in the right offense. He can run the slot. He can be a halfback. He's one of the quickest guys out there. And he can really have a very nice career in the NFL. I think he's a Danny Woodhead on steroids.
I would really like to see John Ross, I believe that's his name, from Washington, go somewhere
Yeah, the
good.
guy who won the 40 record?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he holds the 40-meter dash record.
Is that
as of now.
official now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he ran a 4.22. Chris Johnson had the record of 4.24.
Does he get a 2.34, 2.32? I mean 4.32. What?
It's a 4.32. It's a 4.32.
Yes, 4.32. I misunderstood.
A .32. But he's I don't know. They played Alabama in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They
And
got beat.
after they had just beaten Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he gets his own island. Is that true, or he didn't wear Adidas shoes, so I don't know.
What was the deal?
If you wear Adidas shoes and you run the fastest 40 time, you get your own island that Adidas will buy. An island, that'd be crazy.
It's time for me to start training.
Jeff's gonna break that record.
Yeah.
We'll see. But
Pounds, but
lose that hair too. Not this year's draft, but a guy that I see in next year's draft, maybe even the one after that. We'll see how long. Is USC's quarterback Sam Darnold. He looks like an NFL quarterback. You watch him play, especially in that Penn State game, Rose Bowl, and he is very, very good. and he's different than a typical college quarterback because he doesn't do it with his legs. He's an NFL guy. He stays in the pocket, very accurate, knows the offense well, and I really think he's gonna, if he stays healthy, get picked very high in the draft next year, and actually make a big difference on the team.
Who do you think goes number 1 this year? Watson?
We'll see. I mean, it depends what the
Who's number 1 prospect right now? Can't remember his name.
I couldn't
There
tell
was
you.
a,
But
It's
it depends what the
there's a
Browns.
defensive line player,
Is it
Myles
Myles
Garrett.
Garrett?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Myles Garrett was saying that he'll be up there.
Depends where the Browns, what they think they need. If they think they want to keep like RG3 at quarterback still, if they want to draft another guy. I mean, I'm sure whoever they draft will end up being a bust, as they always have been. But we'll see. But
Did you see Myles Garrett's video to the Cowboys?
Oh, yeah.
was that the one where he asked to get drafted by them? I have not seen it, but I heard of it.
He doesn't understand that.
No.
He's going to the Browns. He's going to be indentured there, but I don't know. Who do you think? What quarterback? Is it Watson? That I'm not saying he would go.
Watson's
number 1,
not
but-
looked at. I mean, he's probably a first-round guy. I know a lot of them, it's the same type of thing that when Johnny Manziel came out of college, a lot of guys don't see him as a top pick, not even the first quarterback, because they don't see him as an NFL quarterback. But he'll get picked by someone, and he's a really good leader, and he's a hard worker, and he really believes in himself. I mean, I saw a quote from him where saying, like, I know people keep doubting me. Like, they didn't think I would even start at Clemson, and they said I couldn't win a national championship. So
Plus, he has
We'll see.
insane athleticism. I remember seeing him in that title game against Bama, and he can move outside the pocket. He's a tall guy, but I think there was a couple runs where he just put it all on the line.
But does that really translate to the NFL? Like, if you look
Well,
at
I know, but you gotta
NFL's
assume
best-
like those guys are bigger on defense,
It
they're
helps.
faster, and they're
Yeah.
stronger.
It helps being quick in the NFL, but the best quarterbacks in the NFL are all pocket passers, and the ones that go into the NFL speedsters that became good ones are also now pocket passers. Mariota stays in the pocket, Wilson stays in the pocket, Newton stays
I
in
know,
the
but
pocket.
it's so hard to see that in college because that's not the way the environment is there, and you can't see that. in
Because
the
he's
combine.
faster than the cornerbacks out there. At quarterback
Yeah.
in college,
Plus,
but not in the NFL.
Well, I'm sure the teams are seeing something the fans aren't seeing in them as well. There's always that aspect, but I think this is coming from a person who doesn't really watch the combine and watches some college football, but there's a lot you can't see just from film. You got to sit down with these guys and see what they're about, because if Watson thinks he's going to be an outside running quarterback, I mean, you've got to factor that in, but I think it's really hard to see whether these guys will be comfortable, number one, against bigger, faster, stronger guys on the move, and if they are comfortable, like you said, staying in the pocket. So there's guys who just want to go outside and just run.
And you never know, and like you were saying, you don't know until you see the guy's mentality, is because, I mean, a classic example everyone uses is Tom Brady. I mean, you watch his combine film, and it looks like they just pulled the guy out of the stands, like, go run these things, because he just did not look like an athlete at all. But in his head, he knew he was going to be the greatest of all time. He knew it right from the start, and he's been one of them. I mean, he does not break. He has this unbelievable diet plan where he could play for 10 more years because he's just kept himself in such good shape. He's hard workouts and a lot of time spent in film, and he's had the grit to get there.
His offensive line, though, is also really good. They've been protecting him pretty well.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's
he's
just the
been-
dynasty of the Patriots.
He's been consistent for, over 10 years, 12, 13 years now?
Yeah, but I don't think he could be that way if he was on any other team. Any
I mean,
other
I don't know.
team.
I mean, you got to give Bill Belichick some
I
credit.
give him
I think it,
a lot of
But
credit.
he's
just
been.
that too.
I mean, you still got to give Brady so much credit.
Well, I'm not
He's run
deducting
offense-
anything away
He's
from
run
Brady.
offenses. I mean, a lot of the plays, 90% of the plays he calls himself.
Yeah,
He
but
reads the lines,
Belichick is
he's
the
a-
one who surrounds the right
I mean,
players.
I've seen. It was a couple years ago against the Saints. There's 49 Saints left. They're down by 6 points. They were on their own 20 as a touchback. No timeouts, and he let them down the field in 49 seconds. It was just the most ridiculous thing. It was like 2 minutes and it was over.
Sure.
It
I
was
mean,
so
the
quick.
comeback in the Super Bowl this year, another prime example.
And he's just been to so
I
many
stopped
Super Bowls.
watching. I thought it was over. And,
And he came back for the last quarter and a half.
yeah, and then I looked at the TV again and I saw it was overtime and bam, they scored and it was over. But Tom Brady, in my opinion, is the greatest quarterback of all time.
It's not even a question anymore.
No, especially after this last
You
one.
used to argue Peyton Manning after his last Super Bowl win, but now that Tom Brady's getting up there and the fact that he's got 4 or 5, and he could go 10, 12 more years,
Yeah.
the way he looks right now, there's not going to be an argument of who the best quarterback of all time is.
No, but I certainly think you got to give a lot of credit to the people around him.
Mhm.
And that's what makes the Patriots so special is they bring players up. Like a couple, I think this was maybe 1-2 years ago with Jamie Collins, where he asked for more money and they said no. They let him go. He's a fantastic player.
That was just the season.
Yeah.
That was this
Give him
season?
the Browns.
This was, okay, but like, he was a fantastic player and and most people were saying, why'd you cut him? Because he asked for more money and we think we could raise somebody better than him. Not a lot of teams can do that. You look at, I don't know, the Chargers. They can't let a player of that caliber go and expect somebody else to replace him. But they did. Or the Patriots did, and that's why they're one of the greatest, if not the greatest dynasty of all time, is they can keep replacing. It's for the greater good of the team.
And it's interesting, you see these guys, they replace them, and then they get good, and then they get money on another team, and then none of them are good again. And you see, the wide receivers that Brady's throwing to, Amendola and Edelman are pretty good, but you see some of these guys, he just pulled, like when they were hurt, and Gronkowski was down, he's just throwing to random guys that are just pulling,
Yeah,
and he's doing a great job, so.
I think we're good.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to the Spear Broadcast Podcast. We hope to see you next week.